Some scientific experiments push boundaries. Others completely erase them. In the name of research, ethics were abandoned and human lives reduced to data. These 10 terrifying experiments didn't just cross moral lines, they obliterated them. 1. The Russian sleep experiment. In the late 1940s, Soviet researchers supposedly conducted an experiment in which 5 prisoners were locked in a sealed chamber, exposed to a stimulant gas that kept them awake for 15 straight days. At first, they behaved normally. But by day 5, paranoia set in. By day 9, silence. Then came the screaming, self-mutilation, and insanity. When the chamber was finally opened, the scene was horrifying. Mutilated bodies, incoherent rambling, and subjects begging not to be put back to sleep. Though the story may be fictional, it exposes a terrifying truth. The mind without sleep becomes a nightmare. 2. Project MKUltra. Between the 1950s and 70s, the CIA secretly launched a mind control program, testing LSD, hypnosis, and electroshock therapy on unwitting citizens. People were drugged without consent, pushed to mental breakdowns, and studied like lab rats. One man, Frank Olson, died after falling from a window under mysterious circumstances. MKUltra proved that even in modern democracies, science can be weaponized. 3. The Neubauer twin study in the 1960s, a secret psychological study in New York, deliberately separated identical twins at birth, placing them in different households to study the effects of nature versus nurture. None of the children or adoptive parents were told. They grew up never knowing they had siblings. The psychological damage was devastating. These were not just lives, they were experiments without consent. 4. Nazi human experiments. During World War II, Nazi doctors performed grotesque procedures on prisoners in concentration camps. Victims were frozen alive, infected with deadly diseases, or subjected to surgeries without anesthesia. Twins were dissected. Children were injected with chemicals into their eyes to change their color. These experiments weren't about science. They were about cruelty disguised as research. 5. The Tuskegee syphilis study. From 1932 to 1972, hundreds of African-American men in Alabama were told they were receiving free treatment for bad blood. In truth, doctors were studying the long-term effects of untreated syphilis. Even when penicillin became available, they were denied it. The men suffered and died slowly while the government quietly observed. 6. Harry Harlow's pit of despair. Psychologist. Harry Harlow isolated baby monkeys in steel boxes, depriving them of any social interaction to study depression. The results were horrifying. The monkeys emerged catatonic, self-harming, or emotionally broken. Some stopped eating entirely. His experiments gave insight into attachment, but at the cost of unimaginable suffering. 7. Unit 731. In occupied China during World War II, Japan's secret Unit 731 conducted human experimentation on a massive scale. Civilians were dissected alive. Victims were frozen, infected with plague, or had organs removed without anesthesia. Tens of thousands died. After the war, many of the scientists responsible were never punished. Some were even recruited by other countries for their data. 8. The Little Albert experiment. In 1920, researchers conditioned a baby named Albert to fear white rats by pairing them with loud, frightening noises. Over time, the child began to fear all furry white objects. He was never deconditioned. His fate remains unknown. A child's mind was manipulated permanently, all in the name of proving a psychological theory. 9. The Stanford Prison Experiment. In 1971, psychologist Philip Zimbardo created a fake prison using volunteer college students. Half were assigned as guards, half as prisoners. Within days, the guards became abusive, enforcing punishments and psychological torture. The experiment, scheduled to last 2 weeks, was canceled after just 6 days. It showed how quickly ordinary people can become cruel when given unchecked power. 10. The radiation injection experiments. From the 1940s to the 60s, American scientists injected hospital patients with radioactive materials like plutonium, without their knowledge or consent. Some were told they were being treated. Others were never told anything. Many developed cancer and died. The goal was to study radiation exposure. The cost was human life. Science has the power to save or to destroy. These experiments remind us that when science is used without ethics, empathy, or limits, it becomes a weapon. If we forget these stories, we risk repeating them. And the next experiment could be on us.